Good morning, you lovely West Ham fans. It's Nick from Claret and Booze. I hope you're all well. Right, it's that time of the month. It's the end of the month, and I'm going to give our long-term channel sponsors, the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company, a shout-out. They've been our sponsors now for a long, long time. They're great guys. The business is owned by a West Ham fanatic called David. They're obviously based in Kent and Sussex. The products are amazing. They've been supporting us now for a long, long time. If you do like your tea and your coffee, like I do recommend the Pluckley tea, by the way. That's my favourite. I won't drink anything else now. That's amazing. Hot chocolate, accessories, stuff like that. Go over, check them out. The link to their web store is in the description of this video, and you can use our discount code Claret15, and you can get your 15% discount. Go and help them out for me. That would be good. Right. Okay. Going to do a little bit of a different subscriber shout out today because I've seen a lot of other channels doing this, right? And I was expecting to see much worse metrics, but I haven't got bad metrics. As you can see, 63% of people that do watch this video or have watched our videos in the last 28 days are subscribers. Now, on a lot of channels, that's flipped the other way. But you lot look after me, clearly. But it's still 36.4% of you don't. So can you please check, have a look, see if you subscribed. And if you haven't, you probably don't even know that you're not subscribed. Just click that button for us because it does really help. All right? And thank you to all of those people that have subscribed. It's good, that was. It's good. And don't forget, most importantly, drop a like on the video. So, today, I'm going to talk about whether or not we've all been focusing on not the wrong issue, but in terms of one of the many concerns that we've got. We're all worried, particularly me, about players that are going to be leaving this club this summer, that are rumoured to be leaving as long as we can get buyers for them. But is that the real problem, or is the real problem the fans? Because we know that the club released sort of stats after the season ticket renewals are completed, saying that only roughly 5% or 10% of people hadn't renewed. And we know that there is a massive amount of people that haven't renewed, that have walked away since we moved into that stadium. It's approaching the capacity of Upton Park. It's that many people. But they're never ever going to release the full amount of season ticket renewals when they're still trying to sell them. They're not going to. Now, we know that they've been pleading poverty. We know they've been doing that at the start of the window. These things, nothing's worked with what they've been doing. Prior to the season ticket renewals, we had the new owner stories coming out. You know, there was all these new investment stories that was being sort of pumped out there and leaked out, and then everyone was grabbing hold of it and everyone was getting excited saying, oh, we're going to get these new owners. That's just to build up hype so that people think, oh, next season could be good, you know? And they go out and get their season tickets, they renew their season tickets. Now, look, there are a lot of people that have renewed their season tickets, because I know quite a few, but I know more at the moment that haven't. I know more West Ham fans that were historical season ticket holders that now no longer go, and a lot of them walked away in this summer. Now, on the flip side of it, I know there's a few people out there that haven't just renewed. They've gone out and they've bought extra tickets. I don't know why. You know, probably in their thinking they're going to... It's an opportunity to grab a few so they can dish them out to their mates or sell them. I don't know. I don't know why you would do that, you know? Apart from getting Sullivan's #1 customer badges, I'm not too sure. But this isn't an attack on anyone that's bought tickets over there. You know, if you enjoy going to West Ham and it's part of your routine, you love it, you fucking right. You go over there, you do it. But also, the people that have walked away now and have stuck to their guns because they're not enjoying it anymore, it must be the case now where it's not bringing anything positive to their life anymore. They've walked away. Well, what you don't realise is we've been driving this petition, which I'm going to go into in a little bit. But you, of the ones that have walked away and have stuck to your guns, if that is a big enough number next season, i.e. we've got a third empty stadium, that's the biggest protest of the lot. That is the biggest finger up to everyone. Because I know so many people, including me, but so many people that are being hounded almost daily by West Ham, begging them to buy tickets. Begging them. When you consider that there was a push from West Ham to remove concessions. Well, they're even pushing to try and sell concessions tickets. This is a message that was sent in to me yesterday from a lovely chap called James. I'm just going to play this for you.
All right, Nick, how's it going, mate? Long time no speak. Just a quick one, bit of information for you. I know the other season we were talking about season tickets and stuff, and there's been a lot about the season ticket sales and stuff. I gave mine up. I remember talking to you at the time saying I've had it for 18 years and I've just had enough. I can watch them at my home now on the stick and that. And just everything, the ground and that. But I remember, but so I gave mine up last. I didn't have one last season. First time since I was 18, I haven't had one. But I remember I told you about my daughter being on the waiting list, paying the money for the waiting list and never getting a call or anything like that. And all of a sudden, it's been going mad the last couple of weeks. They've been messaging me saying about my daughter, saying she's ready for a season ticket. I haven't got back to them because I'm not getting one, so she ain't getting one. Um, and yeah, today I've had two messages. I got in the car after work. I've had a phone call, which I presume from West Ham, that ends in 1966. I had a message last Saturday. I had a message. They're fucking struggling, aren't they? It's not there's no rumour about it. These lot cannot fucking give these tickets away at the moment. And like I said, they've been calling, texting. I must have had 5 or 6 texts in the last week. 2 today, a phone call today. Yeah, I just thought I'd let you know that they are really fucking struggling to get these gone.
And there you have it. And we're hearing more and more of this. I'm getting through voice notes, I'm getting through messages all the time. But like I said, I know of an awful lot of people that have just binned it off. James binned it off last year, as quite a few other people did. People are starting to leave in their droves. You see, West Ham have underestimated the West Ham fan base, or overestimated us, depending on how you want to look at it. We are among one of the most loyal fan bases historically that you will find in football, in English football. And we're open to abuse. We are, because they test that loyalty and they abuse it. But like what they've done with Kudus in this window, where they thought they was going to get 85 million, they've underestimated everything. The value of the club that they think they're going to sell it for, when it's worth, what's it worth? We don't own anything. You know, all the players are going to be sold now. What is it actually going to be worth? But the West Ham fans in particular, they're the biggest asset at West Ham. So especially if you're a club owner that's looking at trying to find some rationale or provide some business case to a prospective investor or a new owner, you've got to say, well, look, the what you've got at West Ham is potential, loads of potential, because we've got a massive loyal fan base that are here through thick and thin, and they'll take anything. They'll take anything. You can just, the fans are there. They'll keep buying tickets. Will they start dropping off? All the wheels are going to come off of this. I'm telling you that they really are. And if there is one thing that is going to push Sullivan out, it is going to be a half-empty, third-empty stadium. Just imagine, because like I've said, we don't know how many people have renewed. We don't. You only know what they tell you. And you know that they're fucking lying whenever their lips move. So, of course, what they've tried to create is a little bit of demand for the tickets that are left over. So they say it's a smaller number. So people start scrambling to try and buy them. And some people buy extra tickets. But that's what they've tried to do. Most people have not bought it. And it's no coincidence that in the last week, Sullivan's leaked a statement to say that, if we don't sell these players, basically saying we might invest £90 million. Although he didn't say 90 million. That's just what people they've put 2 and 2 together, because that's what they could invest. But they're saying we might pump money in. We will drive this window. Well, this has been picked up and championed and pushed around all social media and the national press, as if to say, West Ham are back on the map. We're going to spend. This is just the same as what it was before season ticket renewals. They're trying to sell season tickets. That is all it is. They've got no intention. If they had intentions, we wouldn't be in a situation where one of our primary targets, Diarra, has just been snapped up by newly promoted Sunderland. Do you know what I mean? They've bought him for 30 million. As many other people have said as well, you don't need loads of money. You need cash flow. But basically, you need down payments on players. So if you're buying a player for, 25 million, that 5 million spread over 5 years. You don't put 25 million down, you put 5. So we're struggling and dicking around because we haven't got any cash flow. We've already established we're fine with PSR this year. We're not in the grand scheme of things because, like I said, that Declan Rice money drops off next summer. If we've got £95 million of breathing space now, next summer we're 5 million in the red. That is padding it out. So it does need beefing up again, be that through player sales or via the method that they don't want to go down, and that is to introduce money. I've heard people say that Sullivan could just, invest money and then become a bigger shareholder. That's possible. Other shares are diluted, and the person who's investing money will become more powerful in that club. But he can't do that on his own. It would have to go to a board vote because it's a big decision. He's basically saying, well, I'm going to pump money in and take some shares. You can't just do that. So Kretinsky, Tripp Smith, everyone else would have to agree to allowing Sullivan to become more powerful. The other thing that could happen is he could do what the only way he would do it, let's face it, and that is to give us, let's say 90 million. Give us a 90 million loan, short-term loan on high interest. So he'll give us 90 million today and he'll take 120 million back tomorrow. We're robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's pointless. They're solving nothing. So yeah, the point of this video was, what is the most important thing at West Ham at the minute? Is it the players or is it the fans? Well, we all know what the answer is. It is the fans, and we're being driven away. We're being driven away. Our hearts have been broken as far as our interest in this club. We've had this habit, which is what it's become, of supporting, living, breathing, and supporting this club, and we are loyal. And somehow they've managed to break it for so many people. They've driven them away. They've been that bad. They've driven so many people away. And what is a little bit disgusting in this instance, and look, I do get it. People are fed up. Oh, what's the point? But how can you be really in this situation? And we've been running this now for 5 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it is. And all we're at is 4,367 signatures to get Brady and Sullivan out of this club. That's it. That's our effort. That's what we've put in as a collective, as a fan base. That's all this club's worth. 4,367 people give a fuck. That's what it is. Because whether you believe that this petition will do anything or not, doing something is always better than doing nothing, and it also gives us a chance to basically move on to another phase, get together. But let's face it, if this is where we're at as a club, it's already dead, isn't it? Now, I'm going to keep on driving this, although I am starting to feel like I'm pissing in the wind. I am. It hasn't caught on as much. There's been a few channels that have picked it up and pushed it out there with me. James at E20's done a great job, but not enough. It's not. I'm not seeing it enough. 6'2", Andy on 6'2". Nigel's sort of jumped on it as well. People have been banging the drum, but it was like a short term. It was like a short term thing for most people, and now it's all gone quiet again. And they've defeated us. They've defeated themselves as well. I don't think there's any winners in this. There's not. The only way that we will win eventually is when they leave. But by that point, will there be anything left? Will the West Ham fans that have broken the habit of a lifetime and have finally given up going, will you all of a sudden just switch and start going back over there again? I don't know. I don't know if that's the way it works. Because in the modern world, with the way that things are now, financially, because that's another thing that the board will say. If it's empty over there, they'll say, oh, it's the current state of the economy. That's what it is. People can't afford it. Well, no, people can't afford to waste money. But we're in London. Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, they're not having issues shifting their season tickets. That's because they offer a good product. That's what it is. People have to be getting value for money to justify their expenditure now. You're getting nothing positive from going over to that stadium. Nothing. You've got even for those people that it's not all about the football, it's about the day. It's about going out, meeting your mates and making a day of it. They don't make up the majority of the fan base, and even they have been disrupted. Most people just go to watch a football, and if you go to just watch a football, it's shit, which is why so many people are walking away. But they're even hindering, and this isn't their fault, it's the Premier League, those loyal fans that don't go just for the football, they go for the day out. Because look at the TV schedules. How often are you going to get a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday now? At home. It ain't going to happen. Be fucking Sunday afternoon or something like that. So it's all a bit of a mess. But the upshot is we would fill that stadium up week in, week out, providing we had something given back to us when we went there, providing we had some enjoyment. Providing we had something like that, the fans would buy the tickets and they would go over there. But we're not buying the shit anymore. We're not buying the bullshit. We're not buying the propaganda that's being peddled through mouthpieces. It just ain't working anymore. We're exhausted with it. It never did work. They used to feel like they was pulling the wool over our eyes, but nobody ever really bought a ticket off the back of a Sullivan promise. Not really. We bought a ticket because we loved West Ham and we were loyal and we didn't want to give in. But we've given in now. So many of us have given in. We have. They've broken our spirit. That's what this lot have done. And in doing so, they have destroyed, for short-term gain, which is all they ever look towards, for short-term gain, they have destroyed their asset. Because ultimately, without the fans, what is West Ham worth? We don't own the stadium. We don't even own the training ground anymore. It's mortgaged up to the fucking hilt. Valuable players are going to be few and far between after this season. All we've got is the TV money. And if you drop out the Premier League, that's gone. So what is there? If all you end up with are season ticket sales comparative of what we had when we was at Upton Park, because that's where we're heading anyway. It's going to be very embarrassing for Sullivan. Very embarrassing indeed. Anyway, look, that's it from me. I'll speak to you soon. Sign that fucking petition, please. It's breaking my heart. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Come on, you irons.